Jai Sri Krishna. And today, in today's world, everyone is so obsessed about food. So I want to tell you something interesting that I heard in a talk, and I believe it is from the Chandogya Upanishad. So it said that the food that we eat, the gross becomes what we excrete, the stool. The subtle becomes the body, and the more subtle becomes the mind. I repeat, the food that we eat, the gross becomes the stool, the subtle, of course, goes into the body, that is, keeps the body healthy, and the more subtle becomes the mind. In Sindhi, there is a saying, Jairo Ann Taro Man, exactly, that what you eat becomes your mind. And obviously, this comes from the Chandogya Upanishad. So, that's number one. And then another thing it said, what about the water that we drink? The gross becomes the urine, the little more subtle becomes the blood, and even the more subtle becomes the prana. Now, what is the prana? Popularly, it is known as the breath. But prana is, if I have read correctly and heard correctly, they say the prana is very subtle, but it sits on the breath. That means that the breath is the vehicle of the prana. So when the prana goes, even the vehicle goes with it. And that is what happens when we die. And then one more thing. The food becomes fire. Butter, ghee, oil is flammable. And the gross of the food becomes bones. The subtle becomes marrow. And the marrow is the breathing place where our red blood cells live. And also, I believe it is the graveyard. And the subtlest part becomes speech. So just imagine, you can hear this again. I hope I have not made any mistake. But more or less, what it is trying to tell you is that what you eat and what you drink becomes your mind, becomes your prana, becomes your blood cells. And just on one point, which is probably not related to what I have been telling you, is that in Autobiography of a Yogi, the book which is so widely read, there's a woman, I believe her name was Giribala, but I may be mistaken. She survived for nearly 50 years on no food, no drink. I believe she survived on sunlight. So, I believe in that case, maybe the system goes under hibernation and the cells start rejuvenating, since the body is the reflection of Brahm. And as they say, Brahm cannot be unwell or doesn't need food or water. I guess if you believe in that strongly enough, you can live. And that is what they say about the strength of the mind. I don't know whether this will make any sense to you, but just take the subtle part and know that this comes in one of our Upanishads. And that itself is enough to marvel about. So until next time, you take care and God bless.